do the music real quick. It's too ridiculous. Too ridiculous. I can see what you're doing. Oh, well, welcome back to Spooled, everyone, the podcast from your favorite Northern Michigan fly shop, the Northern Angler. Today, I'm your host, Matt Hartman, joined by my good friends, Brian Pitzer and Joe King. Welcome, guys.
Hey, Matt. Welcome, everyone.
We're back.
Hi, everyone.
It's been a little while since we've done one of these. So,
Since we floated down the river, but the three of us, this is going to be great.
This is good. We're doing it a little bit different format, so we're all joining you from the comfort of our own homes tonight. Why not? It's simple, it's easy, and hopefully it helps us kick a few more of these out. Why not? So, starting to feel like fall out there. Drizzled all day. We had a little fun talking before the show got started, and I strategically chose to not tell you guys that I was actually out in that first burst of storm this morning on my boat.
Nice.
Because I wanted to shoot some stuff trying out. I got a new battery and figured I should run the trolling motor on it. And then, then the clouds came. It was good. Usually, the storms hit the coast and then disperse.
Dissipate,
or like the
right?
rain, but not when it's fall and the high is 62 degrees, right? So they kind of you'll be able to see a reel and me just getting obliterated by a cloud of rain that just shows up. You can see it coming.
So you were able to test out your rain gear is what you're saying.
I didn't have time to put it on, actually. So it was kind of, so it was more just testing the drying time of the gear I was wearing, I think was more the thing. So,
And probably the weatherproofness of your new battery and your new trolling motor.
Yeah, the trolling motor almost came off. It was a whole thing. I had to row back to the launch against the wind. Tolerance for adversity, guys. It's all about, willing to put yourself in tense situations and see how you come out, right?
But did it work?
Which part? I made it.
The trolling motor. Like, do you have a running trolling motor now?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I got back to the ramp, walked my car just dripping, sat, and I was like, screw this. I'm going to sit down in the car and wait. And as soon as I sat in the car, a huge crack of thunder overhead. And I was like, this was a good decision. I thought about just sitting it out on the water and, oh, well, what are you going to do? So
Solid.
It was rough. Big cells coming through Sutton's Bay.
It was
somebody dumping a bucket.
Yeah, it was raining hard.
Rough.
We needed it, though. It's been a dry. Everything's still kind of green, but we needed some rain, that's for sure.
We definitely need some rain, and this wind and rain combination with cold weather is going to bring in a big push of fish in all the rivers. Yeah. So it's gonna get kicking off our fall. It definitely feels like fall out there.
Are you telling me salmon are in the river, Brian?
You know what? I have received no less than 25 phone calls finding out where the salmon were today. So yes, there are salmon in the river.
It's slamming season. Oh my gosh. I still want us to have an answering service someday.
Yeah.
Like
And no, we don't sell skein. Nope, we don't sell it. Sorry.
But I Googled fishing and you came up. I'm confused. That's not how that works.
Sorry.
Not how that works. We're a fly shop. We can't help it. So we got to joke a little bit about it. What have you guys been up to this summer? I know, Brian, you were out west a little bit. And Joe, you've been playing with a new boat, I think, too.
I have. Yeah. It was a lot of time on the new boat, learning some lakes that I've been learning with by kayak for the last couple of years. So went into warp speed with the boat. And just enjoyed that. Did a lot more snorkeling this year than I have in years past, which was awesome and helped me learn more about the lakes and the rivers that I like to fish. So, yeah, it was a great summer and looking forward to fall.
Nice.
Are you happy with your boat purchase?
I am. Yeah. It's a boat, so it's always got stuff to work on. And I think I'm already looking at like the next boat that I get, what would I change? But I'm very happy with the boat. And the work that I've done on it, the price I got it for, all that kind of stuff. So I think I'm going to be set for a couple of years, but probably in 2 or 3 years, I'm going to look to change.
Yeah. Yep. You know
Yeah,
what they say about a boat? Bust out another 1,000.
pretty much. I've kept it pretty minimal, but yeah, it's not cheap, especially getting it
Right.
the way you want it to be when somebody else owned it before you. It's
Sure.
a lot of changes.
What's
Well, and you're
what's
working out of it, and it sounds like you had some great trips. Clients were super happy getting out on the lakes and catching
Yeah,
some really nice smallmouth and stuff.
yeah. That was really that felt great to put a couple of trips together for smallmouth. It's something I'd like to do some more on the inland lakes because there's really fun fishing on the fly pretty much all summer long, at least until the real dog days of August makes it kind of difficult. But yeah, it was awesome, and it's great to be able to run things from a remote and help people out on the fly instead of like having to stop people from fishing to untie a tangle or do a knot or whatever. It's nice to have hands
Right.
free. Very comfortable. So yeah,
It is
pretty
very
happy with it.
comfortable. Good.
nice, Brian? You sent me some pretty fun looking pictures from your trip, which looked pretty
Yeah,
cool.
so
So
I did I did get to go out west for just a short period of time, and I actually, believe it or not, got to fish with the legendary Kelly Gallup for a half day. That was super fun. It was good to see him and catch up a little bit, talk about Traverse City. His buddy Jerry was in town, so I haven't seen Jerry in 30 years. It was great to do that, and really had a good time getting out and exploring different types of water. Not something I normally do here because I simply don't have the time. So just doing a lot of wet wading and poking around creeks, and it was fun to go out and see that this time of year their fishing is just as difficult as it is here in the Midwest. I was able to catch some really nice big cutthroat, but it wasn't like I had 50 fish days.
right,
I mean, it was super fun, super challenging. It was great. It was just it's awesome time to be um, out west. And then, overall in the summer, I did not fish enough. I say this every summer. I need to get out more in the evenings, hitting the lakes with bass and bluegill. We live in such a beautiful area, and so many times you come home and you're exhausted. You just need to like just give it that extra oomph to get out there and do it. And I need to do that more. So that is kind of my resolution for next summer, having just seen this summer fly by, is take a little bit more time to fish. We had a blast the last time we did a podcast, Matt, and floated the Boardman, and it was super fun. But I do need to fish. I need to fish more. I think a lot of us can say that, and it does. It takes time for anybody to go out and fish, right? You have to schedule that time within your week to do it. So I just need to be better at it.
yeah. I
What
think
about you, Matt?
a lot of us get to that, and I've recently kind of gotten to that where we move from that space where fishing occupies every free thought we have during the day, and then all of a sudden there's not as much room, and it's work or family or so many things, and it's I'm going through that transition a little bit right now where I have to actually work a little bit more to carve time out to fish. It's weird. Like it's a
Right.
weird thing that I know tons of people that, either have kids or the career stuff happens, and life comes at you fast. And this summer was full speed. I feel like it was wild.
It was crazy from the
I
cheese cup on. Holy moly!
pedal to the metal. It's just, yeah. And I think I'm on the same page with you. I definitely aspired to just set a routine, be like, okay, Wednesday night or whatever night it is to go at least throw poppers. Like it's one of those
Right.
things you never ever regret doing. It's a pain in the butt to do sometimes. It's a lot easier to just, read a book and go to sleep or something or tie some flies, but never regret doing it once you're on
No.
the water. So it's,
No, not at all. It's like that
yeah,
time. It's like in the morning, getting up early. Once you get out of bed at 5, you never really regret it. You're like, wow, I got so much more done. Or I was able to go fish before work or whatever
right.
it was. You never regret it, but you're like, and you don't really miss that sleep necessarily. You just go to bed a little bit earlier, right?
That's what
And
winter's
I
for,
think
when
that's what
it's
I need
dark
to
at
do.
4:30 or whatever, you know.
Right. I mean, our days are so long in the summer here in northern Michigan. I mean, gosh, you can be up at 5:30 and it's still light at 10:30.
Yeah.
It's great. I mean, and we need. I know I need to take advantage of that a little bit more. I'm looking forward to fall, even though summer went by
Yeah.
way too quickly.
It did.
I'm very excited for fall
All
because
right, Brian,
it's
I
my
got to
favorite
ask you.
time.
I heard that you actually surprised Kelly in the shop.
I did. I did. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
talked to him last week, and he was like,
Oh,
"Yeah,
you
Brian
did?
just showed up." I was, he was like,
Yeah, it
"What the
was.
hell?"
I know. I mean, well, it was. I
That's
wasn't
funny.
planning on going, so it was a very last minute trip, and I didn't contact really anybody
I think
before
it's
I
cool it
left.
worked out though. I mean, that you just run
Yeah,
into
it was
people,
great.
and that's, I think it just shows how small and good this fishing community is, especially, on our side where there aren't that many career people that stick with it, right? And you
Right.
stay connected forever. So,
You do. I mean, and Kelly was instrumental in helping me get started as Ray Schmidt and whatnot. And next thing you know, I mean, I've been doing this nearly 30 years. And now and they were like the old guys when I got started. So now I'm like the old guy. But it's just crazy, time flies, but it is a great industry, and that's what makes it special, and what we love about it, right? I mean,
yeah,
when you can call up the people, or you know run into people wherever you go, that you've either traveled with, or I ran into people that own the lodge in X Flats. I ran into Jesse. I ran into people, Austin Trazer, and it was just great. It was great to see people, and super fun, to kind of do that at spur of the moment, right?
sure, sure. Well, let's jump into a bit of a debate we were having before we got two things. We got a little bit of a poll with the group here about what the tangliest fly we have found in the shop is, and it's been tough to choose. I think my vote goes to the Craven Swim Coach, and it's just those 2461s that just, oh my gosh, it's just, you pull one up and 50 of them come up, and we haven't found a way to separate any of them. And I think the guys had some
Right?
other votes too, but it's just part of the deal. They tangle, and they catch fish, so
They do.
we let it
Yep.
slide, right? So
Right. I think for me it would probably be the barely legal. That's pretty tangly fly, or the Sculpzilla with anything with the trailing hook, you know, that's tied shank style.
right,
Those get really tangly. Those will make a mess in your box.
The mouse
Joe.
boxes are like to that end. The mouse boxes are always kind of tricky. Yeah, anything with a large
Oh
amount of
yeah,
laser dove in it, it's
yeah,
just like it's brutal. It just grabs hooks. It's a great material to tie with, and it makes flies just move and gives them profile wonderfully. But my gosh, it's just when they grab a hook, they don't want to let go.
true story. True
Yeah,
story. Well, we'd love to hear your thoughts on it too,
Yeah,
everyone.
yeah.
Shoot us an
That's, I
email.
mean,
yeah.
I've, I,
One of
you
them ones with the
guys,
big treble hooks off the back.
have you guys seen those where it's like a cluster of squirmy wormies or something like that? That looks pretty bad.
That does look pretty bad.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
squirming
think you
wormies.
should
That's
all
the
keep
other one.
tying them because fly shops must love selling, an entire pack of squirmy worm material per fly or whatever that takes.
Ugh.
Oh,
But
that's crazy.
The
I don't
worst
know.
is just like if you're going on a trout streamer trip and you're grabbing stuff out of other boxes and you throw it all into one little box and then you open up, you're like, oh God,
I
can't
Yep.
mean, there's
can't see any
no,
of this, and it's just jumbled.
Yep.
I don't
It
know that there's a
happens.
good way to avoid it. Is there? I mean, it,
The
especially with
magnets.
trout. Trout, you need so many different things. Like that's why I love bass. I just have one big boat box, and then if I don't have it, I don't have it. Who cares? But trout, it's like
Right.
need 50 boxes. It's maddening. There's no good. There's 100 ways to organize them. We should probably talk about that in the future. But
Oh, we should. That's
it's
a
a
What
great
are we trying to
topic.
have a fight? And oh my gosh,
Yeah.
easy there, Mondo. Okay, all right. Now on to. I told you I was going to bring it out.
there it was.
Uh,
There it was.
let's talk. I mean, we're coming to the end of sun season here, but Brian brought up was it Brian or Joe who brought up? I think Joe brought up. What do you prefer, sunscreen or wearing sun gloves on your hands, or just the long? I mean, let's be honest, there's not that many shirts that I think that actually cover the upper part of your hand really well. I mean, yeah, okay.
Right. I mean, I wear my gloves if it's, when I'm outside, and you can see my tan line from it, which is crazy. I should probably wear more sunscreen. You know what brought it up is I had some basal cell carcinoma removed from my back, and I always wear a shirt, but all the sun damage you get when you're a kid, but it makes you realize, like, wow, how much exposure do we really have on a day-to-day basis? If you look at a guide's hat or your hat after a saltwater trip, you take a brand new hat on a saltwater trip, or you see how much, like, my rain jackets have faded over the years, everything, right? Your waders, sometimes you get that mark on your waders if you wear them in a boat, like, whatever it is, it's sun faded. Imagine what that's doing to your skin. So be
Right.
aware, everyone, and
I mean,
cover up. But I don't like to wear a ton of sunscreen, is probably because it gets in your eyes. So I put it around my eyes and whatnot, and I like the stick. That face stick's
Yeah.
really nice for that. So,
the
what
stick
about
is
you,
nice.
Joe?
The reason that like that initially came up for me was like you can tell how long someone's worked outside usually by looking at the tops of their hands, where
Sure.
that's like a huge difference. And I can see it in my own hands in the middle of the summer. Like there's a very distinct line on your thumb where it gets hit by sun and where your palm begins. Um, for me, I don't know. For most of my body, I like the sort of like physical barriers, like a shirt or pants or something like that. But lately I've been going like feet, hands, face, and neck sunscreen because I did do the
Mhm.
gloves. I don't know. I just found them kind of uncomfortable. And then if they get loose or if a thread comes out, I found that to be kind of annoying. But maybe once I get one of my hands chopped off, I'll sing a different tune. But we'll see.
Right. I have a difficult time
Yeah,
tying knots with gloves on, so I tend
yeah,
not to wear them. But if I'm on a saltwater trip, it's probably 25% of the time I wear them, and 75% I don't, because I like the feel of
right.
the line and the everything. But there's some really cool new gloves coming that are going to be
Yes.
more open palm and stuff like that. I mean,
Oh,
sunscreen and sun protections. It's going to be it's continued to be a big concern with everybody in
yeah,
the outdoor industry. Right? We spend a
yeah,
lot of time outside.
a ton. I
You
mean,
got to
I
protect yourself.
I like the sun gloves personally. It's especially in saltwater because a lot of times they have that integrated like leather patch.
Right.
For because I hook so many fish all the time. It's
Oh
not true,
Big
yeah, dude.
not
tarpon,
true. But
bonefish.
I mean, we've all seen some of those line cuts, right? Even when you
Right.
don't have a
Right.
pad and it's ooh, I would much rather wear gloves anytime. Because I think my thing is I just forget to reapply sunscreen, and I'd rather just keep the gloves on, and then usually if we catch a bonefish or something, I'll take the gloves off so I don't get slimed, and then put them back on. Same with steelhead fishing if I'm wearing
Sure.
fingerless wool gloves or something, but it is top of my feet. I think back to saltwater when I was fishing with our Brian and my buddy Tim Smith. One of the first guys I've seen, I'm sure there's tons of other people who do this. He just gets up on the bow of the boat wearing socks. And I was like, what are you doing, dude? You look like a nerd. And he's like, well, I don't have to put sunscreen on
Right.
and the line doesn't get caught in my toes.
Right.
And I have a little bit of grip on the bottom too. I was like, oh, that's a pretty, I
A
mean,
great way to
it's
get it.
not like I was taking pictures of his feet anyway. So it's not, it didn't play in. So we were too busy taking pictures of fish. I was like, all right, that's a kind of an interesting thing. I don't know if I'm ready to start wearing socks with my chacos in the middle of the summer and explain that to every person I fish with, but
You have to jump straight to Crocs if you're going to do the socks.
Well, then you get the little hole. I've seen people that wear Crocs with the little hole tan
Yeah.
Little
marks.
Oh
polka
yeah.
dot toes.
I mean, how proud was Cliff of his tan lines this summer with
Oh
his
yeah,
like
True. His
tiger stripes
Keens.
or
Yeah,
whatever?
yeah.
right. Which
His
is
perch
great.
stripe Keen tan line.
Yeah, I know the old tiger stripes. That's funny. Well, we talked about some gear. I know we've got some cool new gear in the shop this fall.
We do.
You were checking some stuff in today, and I mean, I know I've seen the new Squala piece. I'm trying to remember. I don't know if you want to talk about it real quick, and then I'm sure there's some other stuff too that
No, we're
is
gonna do a
sticking true.
separate video on that
Okay.
because
Okay.
that deserves its separate
Fair.
video.
Fair.
It's suffice to say it is designed around fishing and is a great fleece that I cannot wait to live in this whole fall when I'm
I
guiding
mean,
steelhead.
it's already fleece season. This has been. I
Yes,
don't
true.
remember September being this cool. For the past few years. I don't
Right.
think it has
I mean,
been,
we've
has
had
it?
several mornings in the high 40s, like
Yeah.
consistently.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
chilly. I don't.
It's
I mean, this is only what our sixth fall up here. We haven't been up here that long, but this is definitely the coldest September and was the coldest June that we've seen.
yeah.
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 Well, it's
Well,
going to be a good September. And then we got some really cool stuff in from Sims, some kind of wool pants. Um, those look really cool. Really great versatile fall piece for under bibs or standalone. They have a DWR finish. So
yeah,
like
people
nice
might actually be
Cordura.
buying layers for salmon season instead of just being shirtless.
Yeah,
That's weird. But
absolutely. Yep. We got some of the new Sims layering stuff in too. Their new layering pieces. So
nice.
yeah, but we'll do a whole recap with that at the shop.
Yeah, we'll
I'll be
we'll
really
dig into
glad
the
to have a
gear,
salmon
and
season. It's not the year of the navel.
if you listeners can't tell, there's a bit of tongue-in-cheek sarcasm here. Salmon season's it's kind of a weird thing, right? Where it's like we all appreciate it for what it is, but there's this weird element that we can't help but make fun of it a little bit. I mean, it's such a weird. It brings out some characters. Let's say that.
It
That's a
brings out some
really
characters. That is
is
a
that a
great way to put it.
appropriate way to say it?
That is absolutely
And
appropriate. And
it seems to be the most
um,
repetitive season.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
yeah, it's always interesting.
I mean, it's fall. What are you gonna do? I mean, it's a lot. Historically, we don't have in September. It's so warm, or it has been. The fishing hasn't been killer. I think this is going to be an
Sure.
amazing September for trout
Hmm.
with these
Well,
temps.
let's. It's definitely going to be a great September for trout. But let's just step back for one
Yeah,
second. Let's
yeah, yeah.
let's actually think about salmon, right? One of the craziest things about salmon in the Great Lakes and Michigan, probably our area, the rivers that are within a few hours of our shop from Muskegon all the way up, those rivers get the largest salmon runs outside of Alaska. And I would venture to say some of those Alaska rivers don't get as many kings as we get in such a short distance, right? So some of those rivers are real close to the ocean, and some of those rivers they have to climb, hundreds of miles to get up. But let's like put it into perspective. We get these monstrous fish in these small creeks, and you are
They're
surrounded
big.
by them.
These are big
They're
fish.
big.
Like
They're knocking into you,
it's
right?
such a weird
And I
feeling
mean,
when they
seriously,
swim
like
into you. It's
think
true.
about think
Oh
about
yeah.
this, right? And we have massive numbers of fish, and I swear, then they start spawning, and then it creates this like testosterone thing, hunter gatherer, and it brings out the worst in people because they just want to get the fish. Like I see that fish, I'm gonna get it. But it is still magical. I mean, we
It
can't
is.
we can't
It's
really discount the fact that our fishery is absolutely mind blowing when you think of the number of fish, the size of the fish, and the opportunities we have to catch these, cohos and kings, and then the steelhead. It's remarkable. It
it
really
is.
is. I mean, the diversity of species that we have to go after, but I really do think it brings out some primal instinct in people, and some of the primal instinct some of the people they're not that far removed. They're they're a little bit of that Neanderthal, and I'm just you get that a little bit like on the Betsy. You hear fights and stabbings and stuff like
Oh,
that. Like, geez, we're
Tippy
gonna
and
fight
Betsy. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
argue. Yeah, Tippy Dam. We're gonna fight and argue over a fish that's gonna die in 2 weeks. Come
Right.
on,
It's,
like, let's be real.
I think you hit on something that is the perfect, it's that connection of visibility with those fish. I mean, I can't tell you how many over the years of being at the shop of people that walk across the Front Street Bridge, look down into the Boardman and see, I mean, they just, as soon as they see a fish this size, all like, they don't care how, they've never gone fishing before in their life. They don't
Right.
know which end of the rod or pole to hold. They just know they need it. I
They
must
want
have
to
it.
catch that fish.
I mean, it's a similar thing with Grand Traverse Bay. You know, if you haven't been up, we have this enormous, beautiful piece of water, and we ask people all the time. I'm sure, Joe, you deal with this, fishing smallmouth all the time, and people will come in and like, I need to go out and catch smallmouth out there. I'm like, well, there's all these great inland lakes we have that are a lot easier to access, and they can't see past that giant body of water. They're just they're infatuated with it, and it's it's a funny thing. And I think people can't, even though those fish are spawning, reproducing, everything gets pushed aside because they're the biggest
I think
fish a
it's
lot of
some
people
sort
have
of
seen.
primal instinct, man.
Yeah.
It has to be, right? I mean, it's the hunter
It's a
gatherer,
trigger.
and it's some sort of trigger. And I will say, every year you go out and you do that first salmon trip, or you're on the water and you're surrounded by these fish. It is still, to me, after doing it for so long, it's still incredibly remarkable. And I get just as excited as my clients. Do you see that big fish jump? Why did they jump? I don't know. Like, they loosen the eggs. There's
There's
a
your
million theories, right? Like, why do those
there's
fish
your hot
jump?
take, is
There's
the
your hot take.
ultimate
Why do the fish
debate.
jump? I think I saw it flip you the middle fin.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, let's think about it, right? It's like, why did that fish jump? I don't know, but dang, it looks like a dolphin coming up the river.
It
It's
is.
crazy. And it's magical. It really is. So I choose to embrace it,
I think it's cool.
and then laugh at it. Because you got to laugh at it too. I mean, some of the things you see, the neoprene waders without a shirt on, like the red ball, big yellow rods, and people slinging treble hooks and whatever. It's insanity. But it's a carnival for a few weeks out of the year, and then you have steelhead season, so it's great.
But I like that. Choose to treat it like some form of entertainment, and that's
It is.
It is.
And
It's
if
cool.
we didn't have these
Nature in
salmon,
action.
we wouldn't have the steelhead.
Exactly.
And then think of, like, in the Pure Marquette, how much the protein goes to feed those trout. That's, the PM's such a great trout river. Why? Well, look at all the protein from the salmon, the flesh, the eggs, the steelhead. I mean, everything. Like, it feeds that river. And it feeds all these rivers. So, I don't know. Embrace it. Have fun with it. Don't take
Right.
it too seriously.
That's the whole point, right? Yeah.
That's right.
Joe, are you going to do
Fishing's
any
supposed to be
fall?
fun.
Joe, are you doing any fall bass, pike stuff at all? Are you planning on that at all?
Yeah, yeah, I am. I last couple years, so I basically skip every opening day of hunting seasons because it's just too much. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting out on lakes and then a river that we've been exploring for the last couple of years to see if I can learn that stuff in the fall. Because it's really the shorter seasons are my favorite time to be out in the lakes. You kind of get really unique opportunities to have good shots at a lot of fish in shallow. And so yeah, I'm really looking forward to trying to learn a couple more lakes and learn some of them better in the fall. So trying to be more consistent with fishing because once bird season starts and then deer season kicks off, and I want to chase walleye, I want to chase bass, I want to chase trout. I'm trying to limit it and just focus on a couple things in depth instead of doing two different things or three different things every week.
Fall has to be the ultimate like test of will, I think, for outdoorsmen in northern Michigan, because it's just
Oh, it has to be.
it's like it's like being in a casino. Like, as a friend of ours describes, there's,
Yeah.
there's lights and sounds everywhere that, you're being pulled in 100 directions. How do you choose? And
Yeah,
that's the, like, I
bow
mean,
season, you have bird season, you have fishing, fall trout, migratory fish, rifle
It's
season.
crazy.
yeah, it's,
So much to do.
and then you
My
get
favorite
these
day to go
beautiful
fishing is
warm
opening day
days.
of deer season.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
I mean, with my orange hat on, yeah, it's,
Get a couple of skippers coming across the lake, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I've been on,
One time on deer
yeah,
season, I was fishing with these guys, Martin Blundell and Steve Trexler, and we're sitting in
yeah,
Sawdust Hole on the Manistee, and we're fishing towards the Tippy Dam side. And so we're fishing north, we're south, and these deer wander across the bank, right? And they're on the opposite bank, and there's this big meadow, and I hear this shot come over my boat from the like a volley above, coming across. Like this guy must have been on a ridge, and you hear, "Phew," and then you see dirt splatter, right? And the deer just continue eating, and then another one, dirt splatters, boom. Like this dude's like launching shots. I must be 200 yards away. So I had a spay rod with me. And I take my spay rod, I take my orange hat, and I start waving it up in the air. Like, hey, dude, we're here. You know what? It didn't stop the shooting.
No.
I swear to God. Thank goodness we were low.
tunnel vision.
Oh,
Oh my
it was
gosh.
insane.
That's
It was
terrifying.
crazy. It
Yeah,
was
it's just
terrifying. But, we were way below the deer, but I mean, still, like we had a good high bank above us, but it's pretty unnerving when there's shots being volleyed over your head while you're trying to steelhead fish.
it's
Finally,
that
the deer
same
kind
like
of got scared and ran away. So,
it's that same primal instinct where it just like shorts out people's brains and they have to do whatever it takes to get that deer for them, and it makes just horribly unsafe decisions get
yeah,
made, and I don't want any part of that. And
Yeah.
the water's super quiet that day, so it's pretty
yeah,
pleasant.
it usually is. Yeah,
And
it's
there's
usually pretty awesome.
there's a ton of good hunting after the first day, so I'll wait.
100%.
I'm excited for fall. It might be my favorite season, even though we're pulled in 100 directions trying to decide. It's just I don't know, town's quieter. You can park where you want, again. I mean, hopefully the construction finishes eventually, and it will actually feel like town has slowed down. I'm sure you guys are dealing with that too. And Joe, you drive through that every day at this point, but I think,
I drive around it.
yeah, smart. I don't know. I'm very excited for a good fall trout season this year. Like I feel like we've been given a few extra innings because it's so much cooler now. And
Sure.
it's going to be, it's Joe, you've been on the river. It sounds like, trout are looking up still, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's just like the last couple of years, it seems like the August struggle just keeps
Yeah.
going into September, and September is basically just August, which is, I go out and do a lot of like small stream fishing around this time of year, and that's been difficult. So I'm really excited that, as long as it doesn't get too cold too quick, that this fall should be really comfortable to be outside and should offer some good fishing, and more so offer like more opportunities to fish in the way that you want to, instead of kind of dealing you a hand where you have to do a certain technique to be successful. We can kind of have some flexibility. So pretty pumped about that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's very cool.
Guys, question for you both. I mean, if you're a new angler and this is maybe your first fall fly fishing, what advice would you give them in terms of, how to decide where to put your time? And because I think we see that a lot in the shop where people they want to it's tough to decide, right? They want to buy one rod maybe, and they're deciding between steelhead and trout and, fall, stillwater fishing or something like that. And I think it can be a little frustrating time as a new angler because you can see everyone having success in different areas. But I don't know, I'd be curious, how you guys would what you would tell someone that's, still deciding how to spend their fall on the water, I guess. And each of you have your own each of us have our own programs. That's what's fun is, Brian, you like dial in to the steelhead program by being there every day and knowing exactly where those fish are going to be, what they're on. Joe, you have an awesome warm water exploratory program. I love to chase trout with streamers and then hop in the boat with Brian because he knows what's going on in the steelhead. It's kind of a perfect situation. But I'm just curious what you guys would, how you would handle that question.
I think that the first thing that came to mind for me was keep doing whatever you're already doing, because fall to me, regardless of the species, is associated with movement and change. Fish are going to be moving, where they are is going to be changing, and you're going to have a lot of new variables put in with whatever species you're starting to chase. So if you've already been like kind of focusing on a species, like, yeah, take some forays into some other things that sound interesting to you, but stay focused on that one species, so that you can limit variables, get the techniques down, understand how those fish are moving and behaving in different ways throughout the season and the changes. And then one of my favorite parts and most useful parts of following fish throughout the seasons is you start to associate changes in the general environment with changes in fish behavior and ways to be successful. And I think that's a really useful thing, is to start to build those connections so that you can like build out a whole year of really interesting fishing for yourself.
Tough act to follow, Brian.
Boy, that's a really thoughtful response, Joe. Nice work.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys.
You must be a teacher.
You didn't even use AI. This is amazing.
That's what you think. I actually have a screen right behind here.
I wouldn't.
I don't have any drywall, but I've got like
This
4
is an
screens behind
avatar.
this phone.
No, I would say, gosh, that is a really tough question, and it is, even with the great outfits that are out there, it's still quite expensive to get into fly fishing. Let's face it. I mean, the barrier of entry has come way, way down, but it's still quite expensive, especially in today's market with inflation, whatever. So we have to be cognizant of that, and that's what I'm always, aware of when I'm recommending somebody in the shop. And it's usually, do you want to focus on trout and bass and bluegill, or do you want to focus on migratory fish? Because you really have to make that decision, because you're going to go with a 5 weight or you're going to go with an 8 weight or bigger. Like there's a reason why 5 weights and 8 weights are the number one selling rods in any manufacturer, right? It's the jumping off point. So once you establish that, your opportunities are a little bit more limited in the fall for trout and panfish and stuff like that, but it does give you complete solitude, right? I mean, you're never going to see another person on the stream, and if you for the migratory, you're going to face other anglers and crowds and things like that. It's just how it is. And so I would say those are the two questions an angler must ask themselves. What do you want to target most? And then the other thing, if you're getting started now, then you can watch videos or maybe get into fly tying during the winter and get ready for that spring season. And then, take that class, take that casting lesson, and really start to improve, because you've watched some videos, you've kind of immersed yourself a little bit, you've gotten your toes wet in the wintertime, and then you can start spring, summer, hit the ground running, so to speak.
Yeah. I think it's all about all the times I've handled that question in the shop, I always turn it back on people, and you have to be completely honest with yourself in terms of how much time you have,
Sure.
And both of you nailed that question because you've answered it before. I just thought it was a good one to throw up here, but I like what you're saying, Joe, where sometimes it's starting something brand new in the middle of, all this stuff going on in the fall is overwhelming, and it's, if you already have a trout rod, maybe go use your trout rod, and then hop in with someone who has the steelhead gear or whatever. And then, Brian, you're right. You have to pick. And the one thing I try and try and not do is put my prejudices, with maybe crowded streams or whatnot, what's important to me on someone else necessarily. I
Sure.
want people to know that, you're going to share the stream with people. You are, but hey, if you're catching steelhead, you're not going to care that much sometimes. Right. I mean, so find out how much time you really have. Imagine your time in a pie chart, right? And then go from there, because otherwise you're going to be disappointed if you tell yourself you have time for everything and you don't. So
you're not going to. Yeah.
Yeah. I think if you're looking for a new rod, not that this podcast is a sales pitch. I mean, I think we can all agree an 8-weight is the rod to have in the fall. If you're going to throw streamers, if you're going to, maybe the problem is switching lines between, I think, your migratory fish and your streamer fish. So,
well, I think that's where those lamps and 3-packs really come in.
Totally.
I mean, that's no
Just gonna say
brainer.
the same thing.
You've got a floating line capability with a sinking line, and then like an intermediate or even a saltwater line if you plan to travel. Like that. That's just a no-brainer.
Yeah, it is. That's one product that I never stop recommending, because you can do so much with it. Instead, I mean, I know it sounds like a pitch, but we're actually trying to save you all money.
No,
you're buying one reel with 2 spools instead of 3 reels, right? Like it's great. I think we all own them when we all use them. So it's nothing wrong with time. So, anything else you guys are excited about this fall coming up, going on?
Oh man, I'm excited. Let's see. Yeah, I love Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's always fun. But fall, I'm super excited for swing season. I'm super excited for October. Let's just get September over with. Let's get September over with. Let's jump right to October, and I'm ready to start swinging some flies and getting some chrome. I'm very excited to see. It was such a good fall last year. Granted, we didn't have a lot of big fish, but we had a tremendous number of fish, a tremendous number of opportunities every day, and I hope it holds that way. From what I hear in the Big Lake, there are big steelhead out there, so lots and lots of salmon this year, lots of kings, lots of cohos. So it's going to be a great fall. I mean, from everything that I'm hearing from the guys at Troll and the charter captains and stuff, it's going to be a fun fall. So I'm just looking forward to the whole thing.
Love it, Joe.
I'm really excited. I love the last couple weeks of snorkel weather, so I'm really excited for this last little bit of September to enjoy being underwater for the last little bit. And then I love, I'm not very good at it, but I love being in the woods with my dog in October. It's just the woods, they smell great. It's beautiful to be in. He's happy, I'm happy, so that makes me. I always look forward to that a lot. And then the other thing is I really am excited to try to figure out in a better way following fish in a few lakes when they really start eating in like the last half of October into November, and they really start getting super aggressive again. I'm looking forward to trying to figure out that puzzle a little bit better.
That'll be cool.
We figured out a little bit, but and it was like when it works out, it's crazy. So hoping to be more consistent with success there.
Yeah, awesome.
How about you?
Let's see. What is it? Is it September? It's September. I'm still trying to keep track of my days, that kind of thing. I'll be in Montana a little, just like for a long weekend. Beginning of October, that'll be fun. I'll be in Bozeman for a few days, meeting up with Jared from Kling, go fish, find some cutthroat, goof off. A little other travel work stuff, but excited to do some more podcasts and excited to do some more tying stuff and hopefully get on the water with both of you guys. So that's what
absolutely.
I think. Like I hate summer coming to an end because it's it's the time of possibility up here, and not that fall isn't, but I think I am ready for a little bit of a slow down, get back into that routine instead of like summer feels like putting fires out left and right to me. I don't know about you guys, but fall feels a little bit more routine, and I think we all deserve that. So that's a good thing.
100%. We work hard and we play hard too, but
oh yes,
you know,
yes,
you gotta have that work-play balance.
All right. Well, I think we can probably wrap up. You guys good with that?
Fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
So excited
Thanks,
to get
Matt.
Spooled back, rolling here. A little bit different format, like I said. So you can
love this format.
You can listen, of course, on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts, but right now, if you're watching us, you're probably watching us on YouTube, and it's a fun way to see, our reactions. And, I think we'll probably change our backgrounds every week. And no, I'm kidding. That sounds like a lot of work. So, but, yeah,
I'll have my hot water heater next time.
We're going to see if Joe's plumber is a skilled technician.
It's going to be sweet. Stay tuned.
I can't wait. You're going to be in hot water, Joe.
Oh.
Okay.
Ah!
Thanks for listening, everyone. Coming out either tonight or tomorrow, Joe's got a tying tutorial on the Bad Hair Day. Really great one if you want to learn about putting weight in a fly and how it affects walking the dog technique from side to side instead of the just up and down weight. That's going to be out worth checking out, and then we'll have a bunch of other stuff going on.
I'm still fishing.
If you're having fun casting, just put some weight in your flies and make your life difficult. It'll be great.
Perfect. Now we have our promo for this podcast.
Yeah.
I love it.
Just what we
No,
need.
but it's an overlooked thing, I think.
I think it is. I love that little subtle things that I can pick up from all my friends like you guys. So thanks, gentlemen. Have a good night. And thanks, everybody, for listening. You can find more of these and a whole lot more at thenorthernangler.com. Thanks for listening.